So here I've got the ERYONE Hyperspeed PETG, and this is the trans blue colour. I picked this up because I've got the ordinary PETG in the same colour, and I absolutely love the tone of it for prints. It says transparent, that's a misnomer. They should call it translucent because it's not clear. But that's across the board, that's not just an ERYONE thing. So if you've got a high-speed printer, this stuff is formulated to work better at higher speeds. Because of that, if you print it at slower speeds, you can actually bring the temperature down because it's designed to have a slightly lower melting point. So this I print happily at 195, whereas normally I'm 235, 240 with PETG, and it prints absolutely fine. I've noticed no differences at all with it. In fact, I was printing with this and some other trans blue PETG, and I muddled all the prints up. I was trying to keep some separate, knowing I was going to do this video, but I had to sort of set aside everything and start again with ones I knew came from this because I couldn't really see the difference. So enough waffle. Here we go. So another one of my spinning tops. I like printing stuff like this when I'm dialing in a filament because it, you know, normal boring test prints, they're just bin fodder. Stuff like this, sooner or later, I will find a willing victim to give it away to. Same with these fidgets. It's come out lovely and smooth, but to be honest, I expect a good experience from ERYONE filament. It's why I use so much of it. That's come out very clean, and I do love this sheen. If you get this stuff thin enough, you can really see light dancing through it. See, I'll just refine these bigger spinning tops a little bit. Still not quite right, but they're getting there. And then I've done bolts. Well, that was a good start. See, smooth as anything, these videos. So, my usual pen pot. I've actually added a little bit of a rim to the design because I found sometimes the top rim wasn't coming out very clean without ironing. But you can just see the light dancing off of those ridges. Again, this was printed at 195. I don't even do PLA that low. I'm considering designing something like this texture, but as a light fitting. Maybe get the walls a bit thinner so it really shows off that dancing colour. It's on my list of things to do along with millions of other things. I like digging behind my bench for all the little bits that just vanish when I drop this. Anywho. So then in terms of practical stuff, which is why I like PETG, this just houses one of these LEDs. It's got 8 cobs, and you plug in a USB feed or 5 volt and it lights up. I've got them dotted all over the place on my racking. You just put a double-sided sticky on the back, stick it in place, and you've just got to run a micro USB plug into it, and it gives a lovely downlight without drawing much energy. I ran a load of them off of an old phone charger. Really nice, and because it's printing cooler, I didn't have much problem at all with stringing once I got it dialed in. And I'm also working on a new case design that's quite modular. That's where one of them bits went. So this is like a corner bracket, and these bars are just little holes. You can tap screws into them, and it just spans the case for mounting stuff when you're not quite sure what you're doing. It's more for sort of prototyping, but it means I can put together a modular case when I'm working on a printer, and I don't spend ages designing just an individual case. And then these are a touch screen from Big Tree Tech, and this is the case I've designed for them. So it goes in like that, and then the back screws on like so, and then there's a couple of captured bolts stick out, and it goes onto that part, Then you have a couple of these little thumb nuts. You can pull an M3 nut into there, and then instead of always having to reach for a spanner, you use those instead. Got to stop bumping that camera. Oops, what am I like today? And then this is just a tool I made up for the thumb nuts so that you can grip them while you... So what you do is you put a bolt through from this side, you put a nut on the end of it, and then because this tool holds it, you can tighten the bolt up and pull the nut all the way in. It's a lot easier on your hands than constantly trying to grip these thumb wheels tight as you're tightening them up, and it doesn't mar them like pliers would. So yeah, all sorts of different practical prints going on with this. That's why there's a big chunk gone off the reel already. But yeah, because it's PETG, it's nice and flexible. So yeah, another lovely filament. At this rate, I'm going to end up almost like collecting the set with ERYONE. Every time they bring out a new colour or a new type of filament, it's like, oh, I haven't got that one yet. So there we go, that's the ERYONE Hyperspeed PETG in Trans Blue.